thank you for sitting down to chat with me right before your concert. We're so excited for the concert tonight. I was thinking about the fact that you've known Jason for quite a long time. So I'm just curious if you could give me a little bit of insight into how you met Jason and how he is as a friend, as a musician, as a teacher, as an arts administrator, all those roles that he takes on.
Well, I'll start because I think I've known Jason the longest. Mm-hmm. We met as undergrads at the Eastman School of Music, and we instantly clicked even then, even though I spoke very few words of English. But Jason is like that. He is a person who brings people together. He's a person who builds bridges, and he's a doer. He creates things, and his energy is boundless and infectious. He brings people together. He makes joyous atmosphere wherever he goes. And we've been with the festival from almost its inception. I think maybe third year or second year, something like that. And we've seen the transformation. It's really remarkable how far the festival have gone and grown, and how many remarkable musicians it presented, educated, hosted. And I'd like to, pass the baton to Joe. I'm sure he can speak of that journey, because we've both witnessed it.
Yeah, Jason has so many remarkable qualities. His leadership, the way he relates to people, the connections that he makes, the friendships that he sustains. He's that rare person that excels in everything he does. The leadership of the festival, the excellent teaching, the excellent playing, the rapport that he establishes with students. So it's been a pleasure to work with Jason. It's been a pleasure to see how the festival's developed all these years.
Thank you. So speaking of students, I'd be curious if you could just share maybe a meaningful experience that you had as a young artist at a summer festival specifically.
Well, I can't share many, because I went to very few piano festivals because of when I arrived into this country, but I think there was one festival we went to together in France.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And going to festivals, the most important thing is that it's an opportunity for immersion. There aren't academic courses you practice all day. You usually have lessons very, very often, sometimes every day, sometimes every 2 days. It also produces a valuable perspective for getting advice from people that aren't your primary teacher. So I remember getting those different perspectives, hearing different points of view at summer festivals, and that combined with the immersion that you get, those were the most meaningful and influential aspects for me.
And that's what Jason created here. We know students who have gone year after year, and they love it, and they become really meaningful part of the festival. They go through several sort of growing stages. They're 10, 13, 14, 17-year-old and college students, and the festival helps them grow as artists.
Both of you have been involved in not only as guest artists and as teachers at some of the world's greatest festivals, but you've run some of the world's most wonderful festivals yourselves. And so I'm just curious, from your perspective, if you could just share maybe one thing that you particularly enjoy or particularly find special about Texas State International Piano Festival.
Sure. I think the way that it emphasizes the student experience and the way it emphasizes the experience of the community members, I think those two aspects are equally important to develop a successful festival. And I've always found the leadership of Texas State, it's very student-centered. They think about what experience do we want the students to have? What do we want the students to take away from this festival when they go home after 10 days? And then what do we want to give to the public? What is it that we can do to enhance the community, to enhance the arts in the community? And I think the way Texas State Festival does both those things in equal measure has been a really impressive aspect for me.
I agree. And just to expand on the student experience, I think the many different experiences that Texas State provides for the students. It's concerto, playing concerto with orchestra, with real symphony orchestra. That's so invaluable and so rare. And this is an integral part of the festival from almost the inception. And the solo competition which gives young students a boost to get to the next stage. And of course, all the other things that the festival does, it lessons, master classes, excursions, building a sense of community. But yes, I completely agree. It's incredibly student-oriented, which is how it should be.
What is the significance of having the festival here in Korea this year?
Well, I would say most of all it's the cultural experience for everyone. It's so many of the students coming from the United States experiencing a world-class city and a specific culture that they haven't experienced before. And I think when you take the trademarks of the Texas State International Piano Festival and you combine that with a city like Seoul, it adds an even another dimension, an even more complex and rewarding dimension. And so I really commend the leadership of Texas State International Piano Festival for making this happen, and for all of the hundreds and hundreds of details that went into making this happen, providing this amazing experience for the students.
Completely agree. And it's a testament to how much the festival has grown. And the trademark of the festival, to bring it to another country and to let another country experience basically a transplant event on a very high level, that could not be a better ambassador of Texas State University.
What would you hope that the legacy is for these students moving forward? What do you hope that they carry away with them into the future? Because I think that sometimes, whether or not we realize it, these experiences can have lasting, wonderful effects for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. This event is at a stage in a student life where they're the most open to new experiences. And as you said, those experiences will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And I think more than anything, I think they'll carry out an idea of how joyous a music experience is and how much joy it brings to the world. They see what effect it produces on the community, on the city, on other students, the interactions, the relationships they'll build with their classmates. They will carry that, I think, for the rest of their life.
Yes, it's so often the friendships that they make at festivals like this one last a lifetime. And the intellectual curiosity that they develop, the thirst for knowledge, the work ethic that they develop, I think there are so many things that influence them as they move forward in their past for many years to come, and even in their professional careers.